canal. I went down there one time to watch them, and I stepped backwards and stepped right in the water.
Oh, jeez.
They pulled me out and took me over to the house there and changed. That's when they used to cut ice right in front of our house there on Canal Street.
Oh, tell us about that.
And then at one time down in Ostranders, way down on Canal Street. They used to go down there. We used to ride on a flat sleigh with the horses, and then ride back on the ice.
Oh, wow.
And then they used to cut the ice in chunks for the ice house. Pack it all in straw and sawdust.
The ice house used to be over here where you turned off for the throughway. There's a house built there now. There used to be a big ice house there, and they used to store the ice in there and put sawdust in between the layers.
And one night when our mother was still home, there was somebody trying to break in the house, and they had the door had a piece of the window broke off, and they had a cardboard in it. You correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the way I heard it. They had a cardboard in it, and this guy kept rapping on the door, and he wanted to come in. And my mother kept asking him who he was, and he said, "Never mind, just let me in." And she said, "I'm not letting you in." So right in back of the door, like that door swung open right in back of the door, they had
Covered.
Yeah, cupboard. What they used to call them when they had like a kitchen cabinet that had you know, the thing with the flour, where the flour and everything. Well, she just went over there and opened up the door and took out a cleaver, and he stuck his hand in the door, and when she did, she hit him right across here. And he pulled his hand out, and they followed the blood from there across, up the canal bank, over the railroad tracks, and disappeared, I guess. But he didn't attempt to come any further.
My mother used to set up nights and sew. She made all of our clothes we went to school with. All but our underwear and our stockings and shoes. And she used to set up nights and sew while my father worked at the gas house.
Oh, wow.
And that's how that happened.
What did they do with the ice that they cut from the canal? I probably know, but, you know.
Oh, that's what they used to put on the trucks, and they'd use it for the ice boxes in the house, because they didn't have any electricity they didn't know what refrigerators were. We called them ice boxes. And the top would open up, and they just set the blocks of ice in there and shut and every day or every other day you'd put a thing in the window, and it said ice. What do they call it? A sign. And it would say ice. If you wanted ice, they'd stop, and I think, what was it, 25 cents a block, wasn't it? Yeah, 25 cents for a big block of ice. And they still had that when you were kids. We lived down on Thomas Street.
I had it when I had a nice box. Mrs. Dustin, Alan's mother, gave me a nice box when I first moved back here from 1950. I had one.
Wow.
Where where Aunt Priscilla lives. We still had ice then, and they'd deliver the ice, and the kids used to go out there and steal the little chunks off of the...
That's on Robert Street.
Yeah, I meant Robert Street. Used to steal chunks off of the back of the truck to suck on.
Cool. Okay.
What the heck is that Rogaine?
I don't know. Something to do with your hair. Make your hair grow.
I don't know what it is either.
It's something to do with your hair, that's all I know.
And then in the summertime, we never had the buses. We never rode on a bus in our life to go to school. I'd roller skate. We'd roller skate back and forth. We had to come home for our lunch and then go back again.
They didn't have lunches in school them days. They didn't have school buses either.
And
we walked to school in winter time and summertime.
So I roller skated. I don't know about Did you used to roller
Yeah, I
skate?
used to roller skate.
We'd roller skate back and forth to school because it was faster and more
I got
fun.
more skin knees.
And then one time came home from we heard the fire engine. Well, we got down to where Grandpa Wilson, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We
George
got-
Wilson.
Got down as far as there. He wasn't our really grandpa, but we called him Grandpa for
We was taught
Politeness.
the old people to call him Grandpa and Grandma, whether it was our uncle or grandmother or grandfather or not.
for respect. So that's what we
Right.
did.
And Mr. Beach there, we used to call them Mr. and Mrs. Beach,
Yeah.
or Mr. and Mrs. Kettner.
So when we got down there, we could see down to our house, and our house was all burnt. Fire engine, that was our house that was burnt.
Oh, wow.
That happened on the 13th of January, 1923.
And where was
My
where was
mother
this
left
located?
home 1922.
It located down there where she used to live on East Canal Street.
The house this side, where Tootsie Ely died too.
Yeah. I'll show you on the way down.
Yeah, I thought maybe you knew the house number or something.
Tootsie Ely's house, that's on the wall that our house burnt on.
And Rosanna is the one that started the fire. She was upstairs in the closet looking
And then
for.
for Helen Stowe, she would have burned up the house.
She was looking for
Helen-
apples in the closet with a match.
Helen come over to, that was Bill's wife afterwards, our uncle, Bill. It was his wife after, but they wasn't married at the time. Helen come over to get the pump handle, because we kept the pump handle in the house and give 'em warm water to prime the pump. There's a nice well of water right there in the driveway, where people used to come over and get water.
Uh-huh.
And Helen opened up the front door to get the pump handle, and Rosanna stood in the middle of the floor with an apple, and the house was all on fire.
Oh, wow. Holy
So
cow.
she called Rosanna out. She was only 3 years old.
What was she, home all by
Rosanna was the
herself?
one who set the house on fire.
She was home all by herself?
Remember the time we was all sleeping upstairs and the chimney caught fire upstairs?
That's a house that Pa built after.
No, it was the same house.
Oh, was it? Oh, I thought it was.
No.
Well, the other house burnt too. The one he
Yeah,
built.
that was in the ceiling.
Oh,
But this was on the second floor around the.
Or,
Those kids had kicked our blankets down by the stovepipe,
oh.
and it was just smoldering.
See, I don't remember that.
And
Ask her; she remembers everything.
it was just smoldering, and Pa took and put a towel, wet a towel, and put it around his face. He went upstairs and he got me and all but Helen. Helen wouldn't come down. She crawled up on the bed there, and she wouldn't come down. Pa had to go up and get her the second time and bring her downstairs. Then he took water up there, put the fire out. It just burnt there around the boards, around the stovepipe board.
right. Well,
Then
what kind
one
of,
time somebody set the clothes closet on fire.
Oh.
That was the first time. The second time was upstairs, and the third time
Did a good
Rosanna done
job.
a good job on it.
this was all in the same house?
Grandma was taking care of us. My mother left the 22nd of February, 1922. And our house burned the following January, the 13th, 1923.
Oh, wow.
Before Grandma Roundy always said, before our house burnt down, that she had a dream, and she said, she ever
She had
tell
a
you?
what?
A dream.
Oh,
Did she ever tell you that?
no.
She said she had a dream, and she dreamt there was a big snake. She went to go over to our house, because she lived right next door. Wanted to go over to our house, and the snake was in the path and wouldn't let her by. and she always said that that was a warning. And she said just a couple of days after that, the house burnt.
Oh, wow.
No, she never told me that.
Um,
See that dinosaur in that bottle over there?
cool.
I got that down to the big end. They got a machine down there. I paid $0.25 for it.
Let me see.
It was a little bit of a thing when I got it,
Oh, and it
and
grows?
it grows in water.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
slippery.
Great.
No, way
I was
back
going to
then,
get one yesterday down there, but they didn't get another one.
way back then, we didn't have any televisions and radios and all
I had
that
a
stuff.
radio.
I
We
meant,
didn't have one, but Grandma had a radio.
So we just had to make up our own games and whatever, hide and go seek and
You know,
hopscotch and
Pa used to raise beans, them big white kidney beans, in the garden right where the little White House lives there. And, Jeanette Tabor lives there now. And Pa used to raise beans, and he'd take the beanstalks and take them upstairs. We had a big spare room upstairs with a floor in it. He'd take them up there and put them on the floor and thrash them out. And not Rosanna, but Helen, they had a bunch of beanstalks on the top of the stairs, and Helen thought she'd get a ride.
it wasn't Helen, it was me.
They went down there and it was
Yeah, I
knocked
knocked
out.
myself out, yeah.
I had to take you outdoors and
Yeah.
go blow in her face there and bring her to.
I thought you sat on the stack of beanstalks and it would just slide down, you know. Wrong. Over and over and over. When I didn't know when I hit bottom, I was out. But I seen the stars and the
thinking
stripes
Helen.
and everything.
So in the evening, after we had our supper and cleared the table off, dishes washed up, we'd packed up bring down a basket full of beans and dump them on the table. Those kids all go around there with their pans and sort beans out. Pat sold to the store the beans.
Because-
One time he sold a woman some beans there, and the woman complained that there was worms in it. Wasn't worms, it was the little sprout
Oh,
on
yeah.
the end of the bean.
Yeah.
And she thought there was worms in it.
Yeah, because when we thrashed them, there was all pieces of stem and
Yeah.
dirt and stones, and
Oh, sure.
so we just had to pick the beans out. Oh yeah, those was the good old days.
So other than roller skating, what did you guys do in the summertime for fun?
My mother done all of her own baking, all of her own cooking. In the fall of the year, I'd buy a barrel of crackers or a barrel of flour. Them days you bought, and you know,
Barrels, yeah.
in barrels.
And lard, big cans of
Lard,
lard.
yeah.
And
Well, lard, we always raised 2 pigs and
yeah,
Mom fried the grease out. We used it. That makes them good pie crust.
it makes the best pie crust.
Huh?
It makes the best pie crust. But I wouldn't use it because there's too much cholesterol in it. And then they had, then we had, you used to get sugar and coffee, you know, by the big cans. Everything by bulk. No, you were saying what we do besides roller skating. We used to play hopscotch. We used to play ring around the rosaries. We used to play hide and go seek, skip rope. We made up our own,
Hopscotch.
yeah, hopscotch. We made up our own games. It was There was other kids on the street there that, Reed, Edna Reed and, what was her brother's name?
Who?
Edna Reed.
Oh, there was Joe. You know Ronnie? I see Ronnie the other day over here in the restaurant. Ronnie looks good. Ronnie Reed married one of the Reed boys.
Oh, I don't know. The one that I liked, he died, didn't he, in the service?
They're all of them gone, I guess.
Oh, tell about the famous boxer, you know.
Ronnie lived over on Diamond Street.
Oh,
Veronica.
oh, you
They
mean,
call her Ronnie.
can't think of his name.
Carmen Basilio.
Oh,
Veronica Caparel.
and we had a famous boxer in
Hey,
Canastota.
remember the old high
Wait a
school?
minute. Carmen Basilio. He's a famous boxer, and he was born in Canastota.
And you went to school.
And he went to,
Re-
I went to
remember
school
the
with
old
his
High Bridge?
sister, Matilda. What?
Remember the old High Bridge?
Yeah.
Was in Canastota. You ever remember the old guy used to sell roasted peanuts underneath the bridge?
Oh, I thought that was right side of the bridge.
Huh?
In that little building?
No, Floyd Phillips. I got his picture somewhere.
He's the one that used to sell cigarette. He was blind. Sell
Blind and
cigarette.
crippled.
Yeah.
Floyd Phillips.
I don't remember the one underneath the bridge.
No, I do. That was Ronnie's grandfather.
Oh.
Ronnie Reed's grandfather. I was asking her about that, and she remembered. And she said, "Yeah, she still remembers it."
Oh, fine.
Her sister was with her, but I don't remember her sister.
Oh yeah, I got to tell you a little story too.
Her sister lived down there in the Stone Lee apartment. I didn't know that either.
When I was a kid and I was going to school, my cousin Jennie Roundy wanted me to go and stay all night with him and his wife in Syracuse and his daughter Alice. I went up there and I stayed all night, and I used to wear my hair long, brought up here with a barrette, because Grandma Roundy would never think of cutting your hair. That was a sin, a no-no. So Gil took his daughter Alice over to have her hair cut, and he asked me, he said, "You want your hair cut, Jenny?" And I said, "No, Grandma would be awful mad." Oh, she wouldn't even know it, because she was pretty near blind. So I had my hair cut, Buster Brown style. And boy, I was so proud of that haircut. When I got home, like a fool, if I wouldn't have said anything, she wouldn't have known it. But I said, "Grandma, look at my haircut." I had my hair cut while I was up with Gil. She slapped me, such a slap across the face, I still can hear it ring. She said, "You little hussy." Because she didn't believe in cutting your hair, didn't believe in silk stocking.
Grandma never had her hair cut.
No. Boy, she was mad. But I had my hair cut anyway. My hair used to be, I used to be
She
a
never cut her
towhead.
hair. How come her hair is so short in these
She had
pictures?
a disease and it fell out.
Oh, really?
She had typhoid fever
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
when she was young.
And
Her
she
hair
lost
all
her
fell
hair.
out, and then it come back in a little bit. I used to comb it up like this, make a little knob on top of her head.
Yeah. No, oh God forbid you have her hair cut. She just shouldn't have her throat cut.
Wow, I can't believe she survived typhoid fever.
Yeah.
There were a lot of these two kids right there in the front.
What can you tell
Eric
us about?
and Kelly.
What can you tell us about her? About
Who?
Grandma Roundy?
Eric just stays with his
What was
mother,
her
and Kelly
name and
stays with her
everything?
father.
Her
Her
name
father's
was
married again, and Lottie's married again.
her name was Catherine.
What?
Catherine Roundy.
I said, what can you tell me about Grandma Roundy?
Catherine Peters Roundy.
I don't know if she had a middle name. Did she have a middle name?
No,
Oh.
not that I know of.
You know when she was born or her
No, but I
birthday
know
or...
when she died January 28th, 1938, wasn't it?
She died the 16th of January.
Oh, 1938.
Yeah.
Yeah. 16th of January, 1938.
So what was it like being raised by her?
Pa died the 18th of April.
Oh, she was all right.
Pa's birthday was the 18th of April.
She was blind. All she could see is like a shadow or something. She did all her housework, and she was the oldest. How you call that? Veteran? No, the oldest. What they say?
Citizen.
Yeah, the oldest citizen in Canastota at the time. And she could outwalk anybody. I don't care who it was, she could outwalk anybody.
Okay, how old was she when she was the oldest citizen?
Well, I don't know, she died, was she 98 when she died, wasn't she?
97.
Yeah, she died in January, 97. She would have been 98, May the 10th. And she used to do all her own shopping, all her own banking. She'd want when she got her check, Social Security check or veterans check.
$30 a month.
Yeah, she'd walk from north on East Canal Street up to the bank, put it in the bank, and walk.
Yeah, but Gil
again.
and me,
Yeah.
either me or Gil went with her because she got so she couldn't. She was afraid to go across the street.
Yeah, because she got so bad she couldn't hardly see.
Clark Roberts. She couldn't read, but you know what? When I was going to school, I could spell a word out, and she'd tell me what it was. But she couldn't read, and she couldn't write. She couldn't write her own name. Clark Roberts used to sign her check for it, and Clark would put Jennie Roundy on it, and Grandma would put an X in between. I've seen her do it a good many times.
She was German, wasn't she?
Huh?
German.
Grandma was German.
She used to say her prayers in German. Yeah. And she never wore a full dress. Never. I never see her have a full dress on. Always, and they were all
Just like
made of outing flannel.
Skirt and blouse.
They were always made out of outing flannel. The skirts and the blouses.
Not the skirts. The skirts was some kind of a cloth. I don't know.
Oh.
Not like that.
Take one of those pictures and show it in front of the camera so you
I don't know
see
if it'll
for
show.
it. Huh?
I don't know if it'll show.
Don't know if it'll show up.
Sure.
I don't know if you can see this, but this is
Come closer with it.
This is our Grandma Roundy.
Okay, okay.
And that's Francis' son George that's standing in front of her.
Right.
Give me that picture of the dog. That's what I want. This is Grandma Roundy and my youngest sister Rosanna. And what's the dog's name?
Silver.
This is Silver.
Priest dog.
Tell a story about that.
Is this the dog that Jeanette nursed from?
Huh?
Is that a male or a female?
It's a male or a female.
Yeah. That's the dog when my daughter Jeanette, when she was a year old, she was sick. And I weaned all my kids when they were 9 months old except her. We went over to, didn't you know about this? We went over to Grandma Roundy's one time. And
Let me take that.
Silver had just had some pups. And Jeanette come up missing and we went looking for her. And she was out there nursing the old dog. And Grandma, and I
heard about that.
And I was having a fit, and Grandma Roundy said, let her be, that milk is good. I said, she ain't nursing milk from a dog. And I picked her up and brought her in the house. But she used to get so mad when we tell that story about her.
Yeah.
Well, I don't suppose it was poison.
That dog had a litter of puppies right in under our bedroom. You know, the little house I lived in down there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where Bill was born,
Oh, wow.
down there in that house. And under my bedroom, that house used to be up on 2 blocks, cement blocks. You could crawl under it. And Grandma's dog, Silver, had a litter of puppies right under the bedroom. Under
Wow. Right.
the crawl space.
Wow.
And Bill took the dogs all out of there and took them over home. That dog dragged every one of them dogs back and put them right back
Sure.
under there again.
They'll do that.
And
That's their home.
so they left them there till they was old enough to get out by themselves. One of them they called Sam, after Sam Kimball,
Oh,
a
yeah?
friend of Gil's. And they give, I think Silver it was, they give away after Grandma died to somebody in Syracuse. That damn dog found his way back home again.
Really?
They say they'll do that.
Yeah,
Oh. That's cool.
I don't know what happened to Silver.
So how's the weather changed since you guys were young to now? Is it the same? Or
No,
do we get colder weather now or warmer
Well,
weather?
we don't get
The
as
weather, is it different now than when you were
We
young?
had a lot more snow then
That's-
than we do now.
That's what I was gonna say. Twice as much snow way back then as we do now.
We used to walk on top of the snowbank. We could almost touch the light wires.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
Grandpa Wilson, he used to shovel the path out from his front door out to the sidewalk. It'd be deep.
We, at Christmas time, we used to go to Grandpa and Grandma Wilson's, and they'd give us a peck sack. And it
It
had,
wasn't a pet sack, it was made out of cheesecloth. Like a Santa Claus foot like this,
Uh-huh.
oh,
with a big orange in the toe of it, and the rest with candy and popcorn and stuff. Used to give it every Christmas. They give us one of them.
they lived right near the railroad track where the gas plant used
The
to.
house is still there, yeah.
The
Where
gas.
Where Billy Beach lived next door.
Yeah.
That's where Alan's sister lives now.
Oh,
Beverly,
yeah?
the one who just lost her husband. No,
Who lives down?
yeah, she lost her husband. Art. He died here this spring.
Who lives down there where Reed used to live?
I don't know who lives there. That's part of George.
Hi, George.
Hi.
Oh, careful.
You brought us